Shukin. I hope Shukin have pronounced that name well.
Nearly well, it's fine.
Okay, welcome to us today. And of course, again, we have Shadrack Andenga, our resident analyst here, is a sports analyst. But then, before we go into our discussion today, let's start with what happened over the weekend, where Kenya produced a dismal performance to collect 1 point at the inaugural Vancouver Sevens after going down 24 to promoted side Russia in the semi-final of the Shield in Canada on Sunday. Shujaa, who failed to win a match in the final day after falling 24-21 to France in the ball quarterfinals, remains 8th in the series standings with 53 points ahead of the 7th round in Hong Kong leg scheduled for April 8th to 10th. Here is some of the action in Vancouver over the weekend. In the Kenyan Premier League, Mathare United moved into the top spot of the Kenya Premier League, courtesy of Obadia Ndege's solitary goal at the Thika Stadium. In another match, Colin Shivachi spared Tusker blushes as the Brewers settled to a 2-2 draw against Ushuru in Machakos. AFC Leopards, on the other hand, picked a point against Chemelil, dropping to second place in the standings. In the FA Cup, the defending champions Arsenal were knocked out by Watford after a 2-1 loss at home to Watford in the quarterfinals in a match played at Emirates Stadium. Odion Igalo put Watford ahead before adding Gudiora double matters. Danny Welbeck pulled one back for Arsenal, but it was too late to salvage a replay at Upton Park. Moving on now, let's go straight into our discussion today, where we host Dr. Vladimir Shukin. You said I nearly pronounced that name well.
Yes.
I hope I got it the second time well. My name is Robin Toskin, as you must have heard. Kenyans think that I'm Russian. I suspect you're also Russian, Daktari.
I'm not Russian, I'm Ukrainian.
You're Ukrainian?
Yes.
Yeah, but years back, Russia and Ukraine were the same state?
Years back it was Soviet Union. There was no Russia. Russia was Ukrainian separate, but it was Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've been in Kenya for quite some time now.
I'm in Kenya since 1987.
Mm-hmm. That's really quite a long time.
Yes.
You must be aware of the local terrain, especially sporting road terrain. Shadrack Andenga is our resident analyst. He deals in matter sports. He's a former footballer, or still a footballer, played for City Stars in the Kenyan Premier League. Daktari, we called you over here to take us through some of the sports injuries sports people suffer. And my first question would be, really, sports personalities are a high risk group of people. Whenever they participate in sports, they are they can always risk their bodies suffering injuries. In the event that one suffers an injury, does one run to, Daktari?
It's a good question. There is no network in Kenya where the sportsmen can be comprehensively attended, and there was it was aired in Kenya for quite a number of years to create recreation sports center where the sportsmen, athletes, as well as Kenyan citizens can come and get a treatment for the sport injury. Mm-hmm. But, the clinics like, for example, mine is the clinic where the people are coming with the injuries, especially if it is related to the sports injury. Why it is a little bit different with the injuries of ordinary people. Like you rightly mentioned, not Kenyan, in general, athletes or sportsmen in that regard. It's a very hard physically working people.
Sure.
Now, there's quite a number of reasons why they are getting the injuries. One of them is that the people are not maybe eating well, they are not eating comprehensively and getting all their vitamins and minerals, whatever are required for the sportsman. Then they are working very hard, they are working more than they can afford for themselves, and they are not resting enough.
They are not resting enough.
And the reason for that is just a very simple reason, financial. Sportsmen are trying to get within their short career as much income as they can. And if, for example, for the safe running, marathon runners are supposed to have only 2 races, maximum 3 in a year. They are doing 4, they are doing 5, and they're injured.
You've just talked about places to go. You mentioned you have a clinic in Nairobi.
Right.
Where are you based in particular?
Our clinic is in Upper Hill in a plaza called 5th Avenue Office Suites. And that is where we are situated, and we are treating the athletes when they are coming there. Yep.
Shadrach, as an athlete, as a footballer, do you think in your playing time, or even today that you are playing, do you have enough facilities that can take care of these sports injuries?
Not in Africa, as much as I've seen. I've played abroad. I remember my times when I played in the USA and Germany and in Greece. Facilities there, they're pretty much adequate. Depending on what injuries you get, you'll be treated on the spot. Here in Kenya, you have injuries that you play along with. You don't even realize. And I remember when I was talking in the phone, and we reminded of this Kenyan player who came to the States, and the
Timothy Kibune, formerly with the Utalii.
Yeah, you can imagine a player who went to play in the States, and the doctors were amazed that he had a hole in his heart. It's just because, like in sub-Saharan Africa, I think I'll agree with the doctor, the financial aspects of it. But I think it comes down to clubs. We have professional clubs in Kenya. I'll name one club like Tusker. Tusker doesn't have financial constraints. Ulinzi Stars doesn't have financial constraints. Clubs like those ones should set a good example, have a perfect medical staff that takes care of their players in a professional way.
Yeah, Dr. Vladimir, in your experiences in Kenya, have you had occasions where you've had to deal with very serious sports injuries, and you get to feel that maybe it could have been done better, it could have been handled earlier on?
Yes, I did. You remember the runner Steven Chirono, who is a good example of that, because he had an injuries which were quite serious, and because related to the facilities to investigate what is that and to treat, and there were no facilities, and he was running for foreign country, for Qatar. He was taken by his authorities directly to Germany for treatment, and he could be treated here if all this network of the treatment of the athletes could be developed here. But since it was not developed, majority of those who are members of the international clubs, they are taken by their coaches and their managers somewhere outside of the country.
From your experiences, what are the common injuries Kenyan athletes, Kenyan footballers suffer?
Well, the common injuries, it is not something to do with the broken bones, because that is quite serious, and we have quite an extensive team of the orthopedic surgeons which can deal with that. But when it comes to the soft tissue injuries, sprain of the ligaments, injury of the bones, injury of the joints, that is where majority of the injuries are situated in. Yes.
Would you differentiate between acute injuries and chronic injuries, as you medics would always want to?
Of course, yes. It is very easy to differentiate whether it is just a fresh injury or it is the injury which was lasting for some time, the way Shadrach is saying. That is not actually the injury, that's the person was born with. But in medicine, it's not difficult to differentiate between the acute and chronic injuries, yes.
And so in the event of an injury, say in a football pitch or track, what is the first line of treatment that is recommended for such an athlete?
Majority of the injuries, it is the injuries of the, like I said, the soft tissue injuries and the ligaments and the joints, and it accompanied with the bleeding in the cavity. It is in the joint, or it is in between the muscles or whatever. So we have to stop that bleeding. And because of the bleeding and the spray or the let's say heat of that, we have to reduce the pain and stop the bleeding there.
What is flashing across the screen there are some of those very horrific images, especially drawn from the English Premier League and also the athletic track. And we would warn our viewers, some of you may not even be able to handle that kind of sight of injuries. But Andenga, as we move on, locally, you may have suffered maybe an injury and during your time of play. How is it attended to locally?
Basically, when we speak of locally, we're talking about what I like to call street football. In Swahili, we call it mpira mitaani. And I'm amazed that some of these things that happens in the streets there in just a local field happens even in the Kenyan Premier. You see, when someone is injured, the team doctor first rushes with water. So I'm normally thinking, is the guy thirsty? Because we need stuff like ice packs, right? Yeah. We need ice packs, because they might numb you. But here in Kenya, they rush at you with water. It's not that I'm thirsty. I don't need water. I need to be maybe.
That's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we need to. Okay, it has to be the doctor who is supposed to be there, or any kind of medical profession. Maybe it is a clinical officer. Has to be equipped with the ice packs. Has to be equipped with the spray, which are quite a variety in the world. Spray, which is making
the deep freeze.
The deep freeze, yeah. Kind of those sprays, which are making numb the place of injury, and the pain goes.
And also, Toscan, I remember trainer. He was very, very good. He was one of our trainer. He was a medic. When I played for the FC New York back in New York, that was around 2006-2007 season. And one thing he told me, when someone gets injured, you don't touch him. Here in Kenya, someone will pull your arm, try and put you back. He tells me the problem with that is that maybe it's a fracture, or maybe it's a dislocation, so you're just making it worse. By trying to wake him up or trying to turn him, the referees should come and try. And I've seen you watching and analyzing the English Premier and other leagues, Bundesliga, the La Liga. When you see a player who's injured, you don't see other players coming in trying to pull him up, but that happens in the Kenyan Premier a lot.
You always get those patients long after they've left the track or even the pitch. In what state do you always get them? Do you think that it could have been done better at the time that injury occurred, especially in Kenya?
Quite agree with Shadrach. A lot depends on that, how the injury handled on the very beginning.
Yes.
If the injury handled in the right way, you are just doing something which is called mobilization, and the patient is still, and then the patient is evacuated to somebody who does it in a professional way. The outcome of that kind of treatment is much better than, like Shadrach is saying, somebody tries to pull, to reduce, to fix it, to carry you, and then it is making the injury worse. So a lot depends on that, how it is handled on the very beginning after injury. And we have the examples in the world when, if it is handled badly, the sportsman, very young, very strong, very fit person, just dies on the way even to the hospital.
In some of those clips that we've just seen on our screen, former Arsenal player Eduardo got a very serious, nasty injury. There's also Luke Shaw of Manchester United when they played against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League. He had a very nasty injury, but then they're on the path to recovery. I don't know, Shadrach, if in the event that we have such injuries in Kenya, do you think you can recover to go back? And
I know of a good friend of mine who once recovered from such a terrible injury, and I remember during his recovery period, we used to tell him that he got saved and Jesus Christ saved him because our Kenyan doctors couldn't. His name is Samuel Ouma. I don't know if you remember him. Former Kenya Pipeline, Mafuko Bombers, Reunion. I remember Samuel Ouma. We called him Quantaro. Back in the days when he played for my senior team, Maringo Bombers, I was in the youth team. He broke his, what do you call the two bones in the fibia, tibula?
Yeah, I think tibia, fibula, that is the leg.
Yeah, on the leg. I think he broke both of them. And this guy went out for maybe 9 months out. But, he recovered and he came back to football. And, I remember at one time he was the second top scorer in the Kenyan Premier. That's it, when he played before he left for Kenya Pipeline and then Tusker. So I've seen such kind of injuries. maybe getting better and getting back to the field, but I've also seen worse injuries. I remember Solo. You remember Solo, who formerly played for Gor Mahia back in the day?